The dining room is a fairly large suburban house, belonging to a prosperous manufacturer. It has good solid furniture of the period. The general effect is a substantial and heavily comfortable, but not cosy and homelike. The lighting should be pink and intimate until the inspector arrives, and then it should be brighter and harder. Arthur Burling is a heavy-looking, rather portentous man in his middle 50s, with fairly easy manners, but rather provincial in his speech. His wife is about 50, a rather cold woman, and her husband's social superior. Sheila is a pretty girl in her early 20s, very pleased with life and rather excited. Gerald Croft is an attractive chap about 30, rather too manly to be a dandy, but very much the well-bred young man about town. Eric is in his early 20s, not quite at ease, half shy, half assertive.
I'm treating Gerald as one of the family. I'm sure he won't object.
Go on, Gerald, just you object.
You two have become quite inseparable.
Oh, well, except for last summer, of course, when he hardly came near
Oh,
me.
now hang on, I had work to do. Business is business, my darling.
You pressure him far too much.
Yeah, well, it's just something he's going to have to get used to.
Good luck, old boy. What port are we having, Father?
Ah, yes, it's quite a nice port tonight. I believe it's from the same place your father gets them from, Gerald.
Oh, well, then I don't question your judgment on the matter, although I'm not very well acquainted with the subject.
I should hope not. Don't want you turning into one of those purple-faced old men.
Here, I'm not a purple-faced old man.
No, not yet. But then you don't know all about port, do you?
Come on, Sybil. I think just a little tonight. After all, it is a special occasion.
Yes, go on, Mama. You must drink our health.
Oh, very well then. Just a little. All right, Edna. I'll ring from the drawing room when we go through.
Yes, Mum.
Now, Sheila, don't tease him. You'll realise once you're married that men can't be distracted from their business. It's something you shall have to get used to.
I don't believe I will. So you be careful.
Oh, I most certainly will.
Now, what's the joke?
I don't know. Suddenly I felt like I just had to laugh.
You're squiffy.
I'm not.
Oh, really, Sheila? The things you girls pick up these days.
I said to pick up the fast side more than that.
Don't be an arse, Eric.
Stop it, you two. Arthur, what about this famous toast of yours?
Ah, yes. I believe having a little party such as this, on such a special occasion, makes it all the more important. However, it makes giving a speech all the more difficult.
Well, don't make one then. Just drink to their health and be done with the whole business.
No, we won't. Tonight is one of the happiest nights of my life. And one day, Eric, maybe you'll understand that. Now, Gerald, this engagement to our darling daughter Sheila means a tremendous amount to me. She'll make you happy, and I'm sure you'll do the same for her. Your father and I have been friendly business competitors for a number of years. I know Crofts Limited is a older and bigger firm than Burling and Co. But you've brought us together. And I look forward to the day when, not as competitors, but as allies, we work together.
Oh, Arthur, really? Not the best time for a business talk, don't you think?
Yes, I quite agree with Mama on this one.
And I quite agree with you, sir. And I dare say my father might agree as well.
Thank you, Gerald. I just wanted to mention it in passing. What I did want to say was, Sheila, you're a very lucky girl. And you've been very fortunate as well.
I should say so. At least this once, anyhow.
So, here's to wishing you both all the best in life. To Gerald and Sheila.
Yes, Gerald. Yes, Sheila, darling. Congratulations and very best wishes.
Thank you.
Eric.
All the best. She's got a bit of a temper on her at times and she can be quite a handful, but she's not too bad, really. Good old Sheila.
How charming. I can't drink to this, can I? When do I drink?
You can drink to me.
All right, then. I drink to you.
And I drink to you. And I promise you that I will do all I can to make you as happy as you deserve.
You be careful or I'll start weeping.
Well then, I can't imagine this doing much good.
Gerald, you got it. Is it the one you wanted me to
Yes,
have?
this is the one.
Oh, it's wonderful. Look, Mama, isn't it beautiful? Oh,
Study the buffs.
I think it's perfect. No, I really feel engaged.
And so you should, darling. That was very clever of you, Gerald. Now, Arthur, if you've no more to say, I think Sheila and I should withdraw to the other room and leave you.
I'm delighted about this engagement, and I hope it won't be too long before you're married. And I want to say this, there's a good deal of silly talk about these days, but, and I speak as a hard-headed businessman who has had to take risks and knows what he's about, I say you can ignore all this silly pessimistic talk. When you marry, you'll be marrying at a very good time. Yes, a very good time. And soon it'll be an even better time. And then ships. Why, a friend of mine went over this new liner last week, the Titanic. She sails next week. 46,800 tons. 46,800 tons. New York in 5 days, and every luxury, and unsinkable. Absolutely unsinkable. Last month, just because the miners came out on strike, there's a lot of wild talk about possible labour trouble in the near future. Don't worry. We've passed the worst of it. We employers, at last, are coming together to see that our interests, and the interests of capital, are properly protected. And we're in for a time of steadily increasing prosperity.
I believe you're right, sir.
What about war? Glad you mentioned it, Eric. I'm coming to that. Just because the Kaiser makes a speech or two, or a few German officers have had too much to drink and begin talking nonsense, you'll hear some people say that war's inevitable. And to that, I say fiddlesticks. The Germans don't want war. Nobody wants war except some half-civilized folks in the Balkans. And why? There's too much at stake these days. Everything to lose and nothing to gain by war.
Yes, I know, but still...
Just let me finish, Eric. You've got a lot to learn yet, and I'm talking as a hard-headed practical man of business. And I say there isn't a chance of war. The world's developing so fast that it'll make war impossible. And I tell you, by that time you'll be living in a world that'll have forgotten all these capital versus labour agitations. And we're in for a time of steadily increasing prosperity. In 20 or 30 years' time, let's say in 1940, you may be giving a little party like this. Your son or daughter might be getting engaged. And I tell you, by that time you'll be living in a world that'll have forgotten all these capital versus labour agitations and all these silly little war scares. There'll be peace and prosperity and rapid progress everywhere. Except, of course, in Russia, which will always be behind, naturally.
Arthur!
Look at the progress we're making. In a year or two, we'll have aeroplanes that will be able to go anywhere.
Now, Eric, I don't want you drinking too much tonight.
Are the others going to get this talk as well?
I don't want you getting all squiffy and spoiling your sister's celebration. It means a lot to her and to your father, and nothing is going to ruin it for them.
I don't suppose you're going to be doing this the rest of my life.
If only I could.
By the way, there's something I'd like to mention while the women are out of the room. I have an idea that your mother might have certain doubts towards my daughter. From a social standing point of view.
I can't imagine that.
No, Gerald, I don't blame her. She's completely justified. She comes from an old country family and so forth. It's just that I'm rather hopeful of being included on the next honours list. A knighthood, of course.
I say. Well, that's very good news.
Well, it's early days, but I am hopeful. You remember when I was Lord Mayor? That royal visit? I think I made quite an impression.
I dare say you must have. And I can't see those chances slipping away.
No, as long as we behave ourselves and don't get into any trouble. We don't want a scandal.
No.
What's the joke? Started telling stories?
No. Want another glass of port?
Yes, please. Mother says we mustn't stay too long, but I don't think it matters. I left them talking about clothes again. You think a girl had never had any clothes before she gets married? Women are potty about them.
Yes, but you've got to remember, my boy, that clothes mean something quite different to a woman. Not just something to wear, and not only something to make them look prettier, but, well, a sort of sign or token of their self-respect.
That's true. Yes, I remember.
Well, what do you remember?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Sounds a bit fishy to me.
Yes, you don't know what some of these boys get up to nowadays. More money to spend than time to spare than I had when I was Eric's age. They work as hard in those days and keep us short of cash. Thought even then we broke out and had a bit of fun sometimes.
I bet you did.
But this is the point. I don't want to lecture you two young fellas again, but what so many of you don't seem to understand now, when things are so much easier, is that a man has to make his own way, has to look after himself, and his family too, of course, when he has one. And so long as he does that, he won't come to much harm. But the way some of these cranks talk, and right now you think everybody has to look after everybody else, as if we were all mixed up together like bees in a hive, community and all that nonsense. Take my word for it, you youngsters, and I've learnt in the good hard school of experience, that a man has to make his own business, and look after himself, and his own, and...
We hear the sharp ring of a front doorbell. Burling stops to listen.
Somebody at the door.
Edna will answer it. We'll have another glass of port, Gerald, and then we'll join the ladies. That'll stop me giving you good advice.
Yes, you partied on a bit tonight, Father.
A special occasion, and feeling contented for once. I wanted you to have the benefit of my experience.
Please, sir, an inspector's called.
An inspector? What kind of inspector?
Police inspector. He says his name's Inspector Gould.
Don't know him. Does he want to see me?
Yes, sir. He says it's important.
All right, Edna, show him in here.
Please, sir, an inspector's called.
An inspector? What kind of inspector?
A police inspector. He says his name's Inspector Gould.
I don't know him. Does he want to see me?
Yes, sir. He says it's important.
Thank you, Edna. Will you show him in here, please?
Yes, sir.
I'm still on the bench. I think it's probably a warrant they want signing.
Yeah, nothing too serious, I hope.
No, I shouldn't think so. Not at this hour.
Inspector Gould.
Mr. Burley?
Yes. Would you like a seat, Inspector?
I'd rather stand if you don't mind, Mr. Burley.
Some sort of drink? A port or a whiskey?
No, thank you, Mr. Burley. I'm on duty.
You're new, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Recently transferred.
I didn't think that I recognised you. I've been an alderman for a number of years, and the Lord Mayor 2 years ago. I know most of the Brumley policemen pretty well.
Quite so.
Well, what can I do for you? Is there a problem with the warrant?
No, I'm afraid not, Mr. Burley.
What is it then?
I'd like some information, if you don't mind, Mr. Burley. 2 hours ago, a young girl died in the infirmary. She was taken there this afternoon. Seems she drank quite a lot of strong disinfectant. Burnt her insides out, of course.
My God!
Yes. She was in some agony for some time. They did all they could for her, but unfortunately, she died.
Horrible business, but I don't see why you would come here.
I've been round to the place that she had. Seems she left a photo and a sort of diary. Like a lot of young women who get into various kinds of trouble, she'd use different names. Her first name, Her original name was Eva Smith.
Eva Smith?
You remember her, Mr. Burling?
No, I can't say that I do. Eva Smith sounds familiar, but I still don't see what I have to do with this business.
She was employed at your work for some time.
Ah, that's the connection. Well, we employ a lot of people at that site, a lot of young women. I can't be expected to remember all of their names, Inspector.
Well, this particular young woman was out of the ordinary. I found a photograph of her in her lodgings. Perhaps it may help to jog your memory. Do you remember her now, Mr. Burling?
I do. She used to be an employee until I dismissed her.
Any particular reason why we shouldn't see this photograph, Inspector?
All in good time. I like to take things slowly in my line of work. I find it helps to avoid any kind of muddle. Mr. Burling, when exactly did you discharge Miss Eva Smith from your works?
Let me think. It was in the early autumn of 1910.
Yes, the end of September 1910.
Look here, sir, wouldn't you rather that me and Eric were out of this?
You're okay, Gerald. I'm sure the inspector won't object either. I should say that this is Gerald Croft. His father is Sir George Croft. You know, of Crofts Limited.
Mr. Gerald Croft,
I'm afraid you've caught us at rather an inconvenient time. We're having a minor celebration for Gerald's engagement to my daughter Sheila.
Well, I'm afraid your celebrations are going to have to wait. Mr. Croft, if you don't mind, I'd like you to stay on for the time being.
Oh. Well, yes. All right then.
Look, there's nothing mysterious or suspicious about any of this business. Well, not at least as far as I'm concerned. This happened 18 months ago, and I don't see how it affects this wretched girl's suicide, Inspector.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Burling.
Well, why not?
Because what happened to her then may have determined what happened to her afterwards. What happened to her afterwards may have driven her to her suicide.
Yes, well, putting it like that, I can see where you're coming from. But I can't accept any responsibility. If we were all responsible for everything that happened to everybody we'd ever had anything to do with, that would be an awkward thing, wouldn't it?
Very awkward indeed.
Now, to this tiresome business. Eva Smith. I remember she was a lively girl. Worked in our machine shop for about a year. She was a hard worker. I remember our foreman was thinking of promoting her. But we went on holiday, they went on holiday, in that August. And when they came back, they were all rather restless. They wanted a pay rise. They'd been earning 22 and 6 a week, which is more or less what we pay in this industry. And they wanted put up to about 25 shillings a week. I said no, of course.
Why?
Why? Did you say why?
Yes. Why did you refuse?
Well, Inspector, I don't see that it's any concern of yours how I choose to run my business. Do you?
Well, Mr. Burling, at this stage, I think most things are my concern. It is my duty to ask questions, after all.
Well, it's my duty to keep our labour costs down. And if I'd agreed to this rate demand, that would have added about 12% to our costs. If I'd said yes to this one, then there would have been a whole queue of them outside my door asking for all sorts. Does that satisfy you? So I refused. We were paying the usual rates, and if they didn't like those rates, they could go somewhere else. It's a free country. I told them.
It's not like you couldn't spare the money.
Is that so?
Look, just you keep out of this. You hadn't even started work when this happened. So, they went on strike. It didn't last long.
Not if it was just after the holidays. They'd all be broke if I know them.
Right, Gerald. They mostly were. And so was the strike after a week or two. Pitiful affair. I let them come back to work on their original rates, except for the ringleaders, 4 or 5 of them, Eva Smith being one of them. She had too much to say, so we let her go.
Well, that seems very unfair to me. You could have kept them on instead of throwing them out. I call it tough luck.
Rubbish, Eric. You've still got a lot to learn about this business. If you don't come down on these people sharply, they'll soon be asking for the earth.
Ah, yes. But isn't it better to ask for the earth than to take it?
What do you mean by that?
Meaning it wouldn't hurt to be on the giving end of things for a change, now would it, Father?
I think you've had quite enough to drink.
Yes, come on, old boy. No need for all that.
You could kindly refrain from having your family dispute until after I've gone. I'd very much like to move on.
What did you say your name was, Inspector?
Goole. Goole.
Well, I must say, you're being very officious about this matter. Do you know the Chief Constable, Colonel Roberts?
Yes.
Then I feel I ought to warn you. I know him fairly well. We played golf together at the West Brumley.
I don't play golf.
That's a damn shame. I mean about this girl, Eva Smith. Why shouldn't she try for the higher wages? After all, we try for the higher prices. I just don't see why she should have been sacked just because she had a bit more spirit than the rest of them. After all, you said that she was a good worker. I would have kept her on.
Unless you brighten up your ideas, you're never going to be in a position to let anybody stay or tell them to go.
Well, I don't see the need to keep the inspector waiting with this.
I don't think we need to keep the inspector waiting at all. I've told him all that I know. I told the girl to leave, and she went. I couldn't have her disrupting my staff anymore.
I do agree with your father there, Eric. Girls like that on the workforce do much more harm than good.
You can't blame the girl for trying, after all. Isn't that what we're all fighting for? The chance of a better life.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realise we had company. Mother and I were just wondering when you were coming through.
We'll be along in a few minutes. We're just finishing.
I'm afraid not.
There's nothing else. I told you that.
What's going on?
Nothing you need to worry about, darling. Just a bit of unfortunate business between one of your father's old employees.
What business? What's happened?
I'm a police inspector, Miss Burling. This afternoon a young girl drank quite a lot of disinfectant. After several hours of agony, she died tonight in the infirmary.
That's horrible. Was this an accident?
No, she wanted to take her own life. She felt she could go on no longer.
I don't see any reason why my daughter should be involved in this ghastly business.
I think there's every reasoning, Mr. Burling. The sooner I finish my inquiry, the faster we can move on.
What inquiries? Will someone please tell me what's going on?
The inspector here believes that the reason for this girl committing suicide was because father discharged her from the workhouse.
Thank you, Eric.
Did you, Father?
Yes, I did. She was causing trouble at the works. I was completely justified.
Yes, I'd say you were too. We would have done the same thing. Oh, no, come on, Sheila, don't look like that.
Sorry, it's just... I can't help thinking about this girl destroying herself so horribly. And I've been so happy tonight. I wish you hadn't told me. What was she like? Quite young?
Yes, 24.
Pretty?
Well, she wasn't this afternoon, but she had been, yes. Very pretty.
That's enough.
Yes, quite right. I don't know where this line of inquiry gets you, Inspector, but it's what happened to her after she left Mr. Burling's works that's important, of which we can't help you because we don't know.
Are you sure you don't know?
Are you suggesting that there's something to do with this girl?
Yes.
So it's more than just my father you're here to see.
Yes.
Well, of course. If I'd known this earlier, I wouldn't have said you were officious or that I was going to report you. You do understand that, don't you, Inspector? This makes the difference. Are you sure of your facts?
Some of them, yes.
Then what more is there to ask us? As far as I'm aware, I've never known an Eva Smith.
Neither have I.
Was that her name? Eva Smith?
Yes, it was.
Never heard it before.
So where does that leave you, Inspector?
The same place as before, Mr. Croft, as I told you. Like many young women these days, some of them changed their name. I think after Mr. Burling sacked her, she stopped being Eva Smith. I think she felt she'd had enough of it.
Can't blame her.
I think it was a mean thing to do. Perhaps that spoiled everything for her.
That's what I said.
Rubbish. What happened to this girl after she left my works?
Well, she was out of work for another 2 months. With both parents dead, she had no home to go back to. She hadn't exactly saved much money working at Burling and Company with what they were paying her. And so, being out of work, no money coming in, still living in lodgings, I think she was feeling a little desperate.
I should think so. That poor girl.
I'm afraid that poor girl is one of many. There are too many women living that sort of life in every city and town in the country. If there weren't, then where would the factories and warehouses get their cheap labour from? You should ask your father.
These girls aren't cheap labour. They're people.
What happened to her then?
Well, as luck would have it, she found a job in a shop. A rather good shop. Millward's.
Millward's? We go there. In fact, I was there this afternoon. For your benefit.
Well, yes. She was taken on at the beginning of December that year, 1910. It seems Millward's was short-handed and so decided to give her a chance. She seemed to like working there. I think it made a change from working in a factory. And she must have enjoyed working amongst the pretty clothes, no doubt. And she felt like she was making a good fresh start.
And then she got herself into trouble there, I suppose.
She'd been working there a couple of months. After having settled into her new job, she was told that she would have to leave.
And that's terrible. Do you know why?
There was nothing wrong with the way she was working. They've admitted that.
There must have been something wrong.
All she knew was a customer had complained about her. So she had to go.
When was this?
It was the end of January last year.
What did this girl look like?
If you'd like to come with me, Miss Burling, I can show you.
I say, what's the matter with her? She recognised the photograph, didn't she?
Yes.
Why did you have to go upsetting the child like that?
Well, I didn't do it. She's upsetting herself.
Well, what on earth for?
That I don't know. Yet. I intend to find out.
No. I'll find out for myself.
Or do you want me to go after her?
No, leave this to me. I must also have a word with my wife. If it's all right with the inspector here.
This was supposed to be such a lovely evening. One I'd been looking forward to for quite some time.
Couldn't this have waited until the morning, Inspector? I hope you don't mind me saying that I think you made rather a nasty mess of this night.
Well, that's more or less what I was thinking while I was down at the infirmary this evening. Looking down at the remains of Eva Smith. Such a pretty little life there. A nasty mess somebody's made of it.
I think I'd like to see that photograph now, Inspector.
All in good time.
I can't see
Mr.
why.
Croft, as I said before, I like to take it one line of inquiry at a time. If everybody's talking at once, we won't know where we are. If you have something to say, I'll have plenty of time to say it later.
Can't imagine that I would have very much to say
Sorry.
to you.
But during our little celebrations, I've had quite a lot to drink, including quite a bit of champagne, so I've got quite a headache. And seeing how I'm only in the way here, I think I'll turn in.
I'd rather you stay.
And how about you come get me when it's my turn, eh?
As long as you don't mind turning out again.
Getting a bit heavy-handed, are we, Inspector?
Possibly. But you'll find if you're easy with me, I'm easy with you.
After all, we are civilized people, and not criminals.
Sometimes I find it difficult to distinguish between the two. Often, if it were left to me, I think I might need help on where to draw the line.
Well, it's a good thing that it isn't left up to you then, isn't it?
Well, Miss Burling?
You knew it was me all along, didn't you?
I had a good idea that it might be. Something that the girl herself wrote.
I told Father, but he didn't seem to think it amounted to much. I felt rotten about it time, and now I feel worse. Did it make much difference?
I'm afraid it did. It was the last real steady job she had. When she lost it, for no reason she could discover, she decided to try a different kind of life.
So I'm really responsible.
Now, Sheila, let's not jump to conclusions.
No, not entirely. A great deal happened to her after that. You're partly to blame, just like your father.
Now, steady on, Inspector.
Gerald, darling, it's quite all right.
What does Sheila do?
I went to the manager at Millwoods and I said that if they didn't get rid of that girl, I would never go near the place again. And I would persuade Mother to close our account with them.
What had brought on this disliking towards her?
I was in a bad temper.
Was that the girl's fault?
Not really. It was my fault.
No, Sheila. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm sure it's not entirely your fault.
Don't try and play it down like that, Gerald. I know what you're thinking. I'm trying to tell the truth. I'm sure you have plenty that you're ashamed of too.
Well, I never said that I hadn't, but I can't see what that has
Never
to...
mind about that now. You can settle that amongst yourselves afterwards. Then what happened?
I went to the store to try on something I had in mind. It was my idea and I was quite excited about it. Mother had advised me against it, but I didn't listen. So now I wish I had. Anyway, when the girl brought the dress up, the assistant asked her something, and to show us what she meant, she sort of held it in front of her as if she was wearing it. It just suited her. I knew then that it was a bad idea because it was a dress for a pretty girl. Clearly not right for me.
So you might say that you were jealous of this girl, the way she looked.
Yes, I suppose so. When I tried the thing on and looked at myself in the mirror, I knew it was all wrong. I caught her smiling at the assistant as if to say, "Doesn't she look awful?" I was absolutely furious. I was then very rude to the both of them, and I went to the manager and said that the girl had been very impertinent. How could I have known what would happen afterwards? Mother was no use at all. Put me down, making me feel bad about myself.
That's no surprise.
If she'd been some plain little creature, I don't suppose I would have done it. But I pressed for the manager and I insisted that she should be let go. God, I feel awful.
So you use your power as the daughter of a good customer, and as a well-known, respected man around the town, to punish the girl simply because she made you feel jealous.
If I had known what she had been through, if I had known what would happen afterwards...
Yes, but you weren't to know, were you? There's nothing you can do about that now.
My God, it's a bit thick when you think about it.
Shut up, Eric! Shut up!
Well, after all that she had been through, no one to turn to, no job, she was scared. Having very few options, she decided to try something new. She decided to change her name.
What did she change it to?
She changed her name to Daisy Renton.
What?
I said she changed her name to Daisy Renton.
Would you excuse me for a minute? I've really got to ask Father something.
Do you know this girl, Gerald?
No.
If you have to tell me something, say it now.
All right, fine. Fine, I knew the girl. But it's all over and done with last summer. I haven't laid eyes on her for months.
This is after she left Millwoods.
Yes. Sheila, darling.
Don't.
Look, we can talk about all this later, but for now, let's not tell this to the inspector.
About you and the girl.
Yes. We can keep it from him.
And why should I do that for you? He probably already knows.
Good evening, Inspector.
Ah, good evening, madam.
I'm Mrs. Burling. My husband has just been explaining to me the situation. If there's anything at all that I can do...
No, Mother, please.
Whatever's the matter?
I know it sounds silly, but...
I've been trying to persuade Eric to go to bed, but he won't. Apparently, you told him to stay up. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I shall wish to speak to him, Mr. Burling.
Well, I can't see that you should need to, but if you must, then I suggest you go and do it now.
No, I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm sorry, but he'll have to wait his turn.
But Inspector,
I'm said he will have to wait his turn.
You see?
No, I don't, Sheila. Please be quiet.
No, Mother, I won't. You're looking at this all wrong. And I'm afraid you might say or do something which you'll feel sorry for afterwards.
You seem to have made a great impression on this child, Inspector. Don't you think it's time you went to bed, dear?
Yes, I agree. Sheila, this is bound to be unpleasant and disturbing.
And you think that young women ought to be protected from disturbing and unpleasant things?
If possible, yes.
Well, we know one young woman who wasn't, don't we?
I suppose I asked for that.
Be careful you don't ask for more, Gerald.
I only meant to say to you, why stay when you'll hate it?
Because it can't be any worse than it's already been for me. But it might be better.
I see.
What do you see?
You've been through it, and now you want to see someone else go through it.
That's what you think of me? I'm glad I realised it in time, Gerald.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yes, it is. If you'd actually loved me, you wouldn't have said that. You heard a nice story about me. I got that girl sacked from Millwoods. Now you've made up your mind. I'm obviously a selfish, vindictive creature.
You know that's not what I meant,
I'm
Sheila.
not going anywhere until I understand why this girl killed herself.
I don't suppose we can understand why the girl committed suicide. Girls of that class really...
Mother, please, stop. You must not try and build a wall between us and this girl. The inspector will only break it down, and it'll be all the worse when he does.
I don't understand you. Do you?
Yes, and she's right.
And besides, the inspector hasn't finished asking questions. Have you?
No.
You see? Then I'm staying.
I just can't see what you're getting out of this, Sheila.
Allow me, Miss Burling. I can tell you why she would want to stay on, and why she would feel much better if she did. A young girl died this evening. Miss Burling has been made to understand what she did to this young girl, and now she feels responsible. If she were to leave now, not hear anything else, she would feel entirely to blame. Not only for this evening, but for tomorrow evening and the night after that.
Yes, that's it. I know I'm to blame, and I am desperately sorry. But I will not believe that it's simply my fault that she committed suicide. It would be too horrible.
You see, we all have something to share. If there is nothing else, then it may as well be our guilt.
I still don't understand what blame there is to take on our part.
All in good time, Mrs. Burling. Now where's this young man, Eric?
He's upstairs, refusing to go to bed.
Well, what's wrong with him?
Eric, I believe he had rather too much to drink tonight.
Is he not used to drinking?
No, of course not. He's only a boy.
No, he's a young man. And young men these days drink far too much.
And Eric's one of them.
Sheila?
I don't want to put poor Eric into trouble, but we really must stop with these silly pretenses. Now is not the time to pretend that Eric isn't used to drink. He's been steadily drinking too much for the last 2 years.
It simply isn't true. Gerald, you know him, and you're a man. You must know that it isn't true.
Well, Mr. Croft?
Although I haven't seen much of Eric outside the house, I am aware that he enjoys the occasional drink.
And this is the time you choose to tell me.
Yes, of course it is. This is what I meant by not building up a wall. It's bound to be knocked flat.
But it's you and not the inspector here that's doing it.
But can't you see? He hasn't started with you yet.
I shall be glad to answer any questions the inspector may wish to ask, though naturally I don't know anything about this girl.
We'll see.
Inspector, I've told you before, I don't like your tone, and I don't like the way you're handling this investigation. I'm not going to give you much more rope.
Can't you see? He's the one presenting us with the rope so we may hang ourselves.
What's the matter with you, child?
She's overexcited and refuses to go. Well, come along, Inspector. What is it you wish to know?
Well, at the end of January last year, this girl, Eva Smith, had to leave Millwoods because young Miss Burling here compelled them to discharge her. It was then that she stopped being Eva Smith, looking for a job, and became Daisy Renton, with other ideas. And so, Mr. Croft, how was it that you first came to know her?
What gave you the impression that I did know
It's
her?
no use, Gerald. You're wasting time.
As soon as I mentioned the name Daisy Renton, it was obvious that you knew her. You gave yourself away immediately.
Of course he did.
So when and where did you first meet her, Mr. Croft?
All right then, fine. If you must have it. We met in March of last year. At the Stalls Bar at the Palace. The Palace Music Hall here in Brumley.
I didn't think you meant Buckingham Palace.
Yes, thanks. I can see you're going to be a great help. Now, you've said your part, and you're obviously going to hate this, so why on earth don't you just leave us to it?
Nothing would induce me. I want to know exactly what happens when a man says he's so busy at the works that he hardly has time to see the girl he's supposed to be in love with. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yes, Mr. Croft. In the Stalls Bar at the Palace Variety Theatre.
I only looked in. After a long, dull day at the office, I went in to see the show, and it wasn't very bright, so I went downstairs to the bar. It's a favourite haunt of women of the town.
Women of the town?
Yes, but I see no point in mentioning the subject, especially as...
It's highly inappropriate for Sheila to be listening to this story at all.
You're forgetting I'm supposed to be engaged to the hero of it. Let's go on, Gerald. You went down into the bar, which is a favourite haunt of women of the town.
Oh, I'm glad I amuse you.
Hello, Mr. Croft. What happened?
I didn't intend to stay long. But then I saw this girl there who was quite different from all of the others. She was very pretty. She had soft brown hair and big dark eyes. She was very young and charming, and she was obviously not happy about being there. There was an elder chap who was half drunk and goggle-eyed, and he had wedged her into a corner with that obscene fat carcass of his.
There's no need to be disgusting.
I think we are quite past the point of disgusting.
Sheila, please. Go on, Mr. Croft.
She was obviously in need of rescuing. So I did what any other half-decent chap would do. I went over to the man and I told him that there was a call for him at the front desk. That got him out of the way. She then let on that she hadn't eaten in some time, so I insisted on her joining me for dinner.
Where did you go?
To the country hotel down the road. It was there she started to come into herself a little more. Started to relax.
Did she have much to drink over dinner?
No, she only had a port and lemonade or some such concoction.
What did you two talk about?
She told me who she was, where she came from. She mentioned what had happened in the works, that she had had a job in, though she didn't mention where. She mentioned the shop too, though she didn't talk much about that. I quickly became aware that she was just in desperate need of someone to talk to, someone to look after her.
Where did it go from there?
She told me that she hadn't a penny left and she was about to be thrown out of her lodgings. A miserable back room that she had.
She was desperate.
Yes. It just so happened that a friend of mine had gone abroad for 6 months and he had left me the set of keys to some rooms that he had. So I insisted on her moving into those rooms and I gave her some money to keep her going there. She was so overwhelmed by the gesture, I felt sorry for her.
During this time of her staying there, she became your mistress.
Yes.
How disgusting.
No, Mrs. Burling, I must protest. It was anything but disgusting. It was quite the opposite. And I wanted nothing more than to help her.
Were you in love?
It's just what I was going to ask.
It's difficult to say. I didn't feel the same way that she felt about me.
Of course not. You were the wonderful fairy prince.
Well,
I bet you adored him.
yes, all right, I did. Any man would have done.
It's about the best thing you said tonight. At least it's honest. Did you see her every night?
No, not every night. I wasn't lying when I said I was busy with the works.
Well, it's nice to know you don't lie about everything.
When did the affair end, Mr. Croft?
In the first week of September. I was set to go away then on business, and by that time, Daisy knew it was coming to an end. So I broke it off definitely before I went.
And how did she take it?
Better than I'd hoped. She was very gallant about it.
And that was nice for you.
No, it wasn't. She mentioned that she'd been the happiest she'd ever been. But she knew it couldn't last.
She had to move out of those rooms.
Yes, we'd agreed on that. She'd saved some money over the summer and I insisted on a parting gift of some money, though it wasn't enough to keep her going to the end of the year.
Did she say what she intended to do after she had gone?
No, she didn't talk much about that. I get the feeling she intended to leave Brumley. I just can't believe that she's actually dead.
Well, I can tell you that she went away for about 2 months. Someplace by the sea.
And how do you know that?
And as I mentioned before, she left a kind of rough diary. And in that she said that she needs to go away to be quiet, just to remember. Keep it going just that little bit longer. I think she realized that there would never be anything as good for her again.
I see. Well, Inspector, if there's nothing more that you need from me.
No, I think that's all I need from you now.
Well, then if you don't mind, I feel I need to be alone.
Of course, I understand.
Gerald. I don't dislike you, Gerald. In fact, in some odd way, I actually respect you more than I ever have before. And I believed you. I wanted to help her at first. It was my fault she was in that mess in the first place. But this changes things. You and I are not the same people that sat down to dinner tonight. We'd have to start all over again, getting to know each other and...
Now, Sheila, I'm not defending him.
Father, Gerald knows what I mean.
Yes, I do. Excuse me.
You know, you never actually showed him that photograph.
No, I didn't think it was necessary.
You have a photograph of this girl?
Yes. I think I'd like you to see it. Do you recognize her, Mrs. Burling?
No, why should I?
Well, of course. She may have changed lately. But I can't imagine she's changed too much.
I don't understand you, Inspector.
I think you're choosing not to, Mrs. Burling.
I meant what I said.
You're not telling me the truth.
I beg your pardon.
Now look, Inspector, I'm not going to have this. You'll apologise at once.
Apologise for what? Doing my duty?
No, for being so offensive. I'm a public man.
Public men, Mr. Burling, have responsibilities as well as privilege.
That may be so, but you didn't come here to ask me about my responsibilities.
I hardly think responsibilities has anything to do with it.
Does that mean anything, Sheila?
I mean, Mother, that you can't just hide behind a wall of ignorance simply because you're too afraid to face the facts. I think it's high time you got off your high horse and stop pretending that you don't come into this business. Why can't you just admit that you recognise the girl in the photograph? He's going to get out of you anyway. There's no point dragging this out.
Now, Inspector, I don't see what my wife has got to do with any of this business, just because she recognised some girl in a photograph.
Mrs. Burling, you're a prominent member of Brumley Women's Charity Organisation, aren't you?
Yes, she is. Why?
What does this organisation do exactly?
It's a charitable organisation to which women in distress can appeal for help in various forms. We have done a great deal of useful work in deserving cases.
Am I right in thinking you sit on the chair of the committee of this organisation?
Yes, I do.
Then you'll remember the meeting of the interviewing committee 2 weeks ago.
Is there a point to any of these questions, Inspector?
Yes, and a good one. Mr. Croft told us, quite truthfully, and I believe, they had neither seen nor heard from Eva Smith since last September. Whereas Miss Burling not only saw, but spoke to her 2 weeks ago.
There, you see? What did I tell you?
Is this true?
Yes, quite true.
She appealed to your organisation for help.
Yes, neither as Eva Smith nor this Daisy Renton.
As what then?
First, she called herself Mrs. Burling.
Mrs. Burling?
Yes, it was simply a piece of gross impertinence, quite deliberate. And naturally, that was one of the things that prejudiced me against her case.
I should think so. Damned impudent.
So you admit to being prejudiced to the case?
Yes.
This girl has just died tonight, Mother, don't forget.
I am well aware of that, Sheila, but I still don't see what this has to do with me.
Was it owing to your position as the prominent member of the committee that help was refused this girl?
Possibly.
Well, was it or was it not your influence?
Yes. I found the girl to be quite impertinent. It did not take long for us to find out the truth about the improper use of our name. She had no claim to it, was not married, and that the story she had come up with about her husband deserting her was a lie.
And why did she need your help?
You know very well why she wanted help.
Well, yes, I know why she needed help, Mrs. Burling. But as I wasn't there, I have no idea what she was asking of the committee.
I don't think we need to discuss it.
You have no hope of not discussing it, Mrs. Burling.
If you think you can bring pressure to bear upon me, Inspector, you're quite mistaken. This girl came to us with a claim with which I was not satisfied, and so I had it refused. And despite what has happened to the girl since, I consider that I did my duty. I have nothing to be ashamed of, and do not wish to discuss it further. And you have no power to make me change my mind.
Oh, yes, I have.
No, you haven't. I have done nothing wrong, as well you know.
Would you still consider yourself to have done nothing wrong if I told you that the girl was expecting a child?
Did you know this, Mother?
It was because the girl was expecting a child that she sought assistance from your mother's committee. And she was asking for help at a time when no woman could have needed it more. Not only did you refuse that help, Mrs. Burling, but you saw to it that others refused it too. She wasn't just asking for money, she was asking for advice, sympathy, friendliness. You slammed the door in her face.
Mother, I think it was vile and cruel.
I have to say, Sybil, when this comes out of the inquest, it's not going to look good for us. The press are bound to pick it up.
Stop it, the pair of you. And before you both start accusing me again, let me remind you that it was not I who turned her out of her employment, which probably began it all.
Don't try and turn this on us. Neither of us would have refused a pregnant girl the help she so clearly desperately needed.
In the circumstances, I was justified. The girl had begun by telling us a pack of lies. If she had told us the truth, things might have been different.
What was the truth, Mrs. Burling?
I discovered that she knew who the father was. She was quite certain about that. And so I told her it was her business to make him responsible. And if he refused to marry her, which, in my view, he ought to be compelled to, he should at the very least support her.
Did she say who the father was?
She said he was a youngster, silly and wild and drinking too much. He gave her money, and she did not wish to take any more.
Why did she not want any more money from him?
Oh, all a lot of nonsense. I didn't believe a word of it.
Didn't ask if you believed her, Mrs. Burling. I wanted to know what it is she said. Now, why did she not want to take any more money?
Some fancy reason. As if a girl in her position would ever refuse money.
Well, the position she's in now is that she's lying with her insides burnt out on a slab.
Now, Inspector!
Don't stammer and yammer at me, man. I'm losing all patience with you people. Now tell me why she didn't want to take any more money.
She discovered that he had stolen the money and so refused to take any more.
So she came to you for help to protect this youngster from any more trouble. Isn't that so?
Possibly, but it sounded ridiculous to me. So I was perfectly justified in advising my committee against her claim.
You're not even sorry now, even though you know what happened to the girl.
I'm sorry she should have come to such a horrible end, but I accept no blame for it at all.
So who is to blame then?
I blame the young man who got her into this mess in the first place. If he had done the noble thing of marrying her, then she would have felt no need to come to us.
So he's the chief culprit anyhow?
Certainly, and should be made an example of. And if you'd spent more time trying to find him instead of asking all these unnecessary questions...
Stop!
No, I will not be held responsible for the actions of some vile creature.
Don't you see?
See what, Sheila? What are you talking about? I don't see what we have to do with this young man who is the father of the child. If, as she said, he didn't belong to her class, but was some drunken young idler, then that's all the more reason why he shouldn't escape. If the girl's death is due to anybody, then it's due to him.
So you're saying he should be made an example of?
Quite right. And I don't see why you haven't got on to this sooner.
All in good time, Mrs. Burling.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I'd like to speak to Eric now, please.
Eric, why on earth would you want to see? You couldn't possibly mean it.
Mother, I begged you to stop.
You all know, don't you?
Yes, we know.
Eric, I can't believe it. Must be some mistake. You don't know what I've been saying.
Well, it's a good job he doesn't know then, isn't it?
Why?
Because Mother here has been blaming everything on the young man that got that girl in trouble.
Sheila, don't.
You haven't made it any easier for me, have you, Mother?
I didn't know it was you. I never dreamt. Besides, you're not the type. You'd never get drunk.
Of course he does. I told you he did.
You told her? Why, you little sneak.
That's not fair. I could have told her months ago, but of course I didn't. I only told her tonight because I knew everything was coming out.
If you only had a sense of loyalty.
Now, Mr. Burling. I shall still have to hear what Eric has to say.
Can I get a drink first?
I think you've had quite enough.
Yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Burling. I know he's your son. This is your house. I think he needs a drink now, just to see him through.
All right, go on.
Eric, when did you first meet Eva Smith?
One night last November.
Where?
The Palace Bar. I'd been there an hour or so with 2 or 3 friends. I was a bit squiffy.
What happened then?
I began talking to this girl. Stood her a few drinks. I was a bit far gone by the time we had to go.
Was she drunk too?
She told me afterwards that she was a bit. Chiefly because she said that she hadn't much to eat that night.
Why had she gone there?
She wasn't the sort, but she told me that some woman had happened to got there. I couldn't quite understand why, but...
So you went to her lodgings in the evening?
Yes. But I insisted, it seems. She said that she didn't want me to go in, but I was in that sort of state, you know. A chap can easily turn nasty. So I threatened to make a row.
So she let you in?
Yes. And that's when it happened. And I don't even remember it. That's the hellish thing.
Sheila, take your mother along to the drawing room. You heard what I said. Go on, Sybil.
Come on, Mama.
When did you next meet her?
About a fortnight afterwards.
Was that by appointment?
No. I couldn't remember her name or where she lived. It was all very vague. I happened to run into her at the Palace Bar.
But more drinking?
Yes, although this time I wasn't so bad.
But you took her home anyway?
Yes, but this time we talked, we spoke. She told me a bit about herself, and I told her something about myself, and told her my name, what I did.
And you made love again?
Yes, although I wasn't in love with her. But I liked her. She was pretty and a good sport.
So you had to go to bed with her?
I'm old enough to be married, aren't I? Besides, I hate seeing these fat old tarts you see around town. The sort that you see some of your respectable friends with.
I don't need that from you.
And I don't want it either. Did you arrange to see her again after that?
Yes. Although, this time she told me that she thought she was going to be having a baby.
What did you suggest you do?
Well, she didn't want me to marry her. Said I didn't love her and all that. But in a way, she treated me as if I was a child. Although, I'm almost as old as she was.
What did you propose?
Well, she hadn't any money left. Nor a job, so I intended to give her some money. I insisted on it to keep her going. Until she refused to take any more.
How much did you give her altogether?
About £50 all told.
£50? After going around the town, drinking and going out, where on earth did you get £50?
That's my question also.
I got it from the office.
What? My office?
Yes.
You mean you stole the money?
Not really.
What do you mean, not really?
I intended to pay it back.
How? How were you going to pay it back?
I would have managed. I just needed to have some money, all right?
How did you get it out of the office without anybody noticing?
I went round to some of the small accounts, the ones that still needed collecting. I asked if they'd be paid in cash.
What, gave them a firm's receipt, put the money in your pocket, eh?
Yes.
You damned fool! You're going to give me a list of all those accounts. If anybody was to find out about this, why didn't you just come to me?
Because you're not the type of father a chap can go to when he's in trouble. That's why.
This isn't my fault.
I'm sorry, Arthur. I simply couldn't stay in there. I have to know what's happening.
Well, let me tell you what's happening. Our spoilt little son here has just admitted for being responsible for the girl's condition. And that he stole money from my office to facilitate her.
Eric, you stole money.
I'm afraid I don't have time to go through that again. The girl discovered that the money you was giving her was stolen, didn't she?
Yes. She said she didn't want to see me again. I don't know where she went after that.
She went to your mother's committee for help. Your mother refused that help.
What?
Eric, I didn't understand.
No. That was my child. My child! And you took it away from me!
Shouting about it after what you've done! Stop!
Do not have time for this now. You'll have time for that after I'm gone. For now, you will listen to me. Remember what you did, Mrs. Burling. Refusing her even the pitiable little piece of organised charity you had in your power to grant her. Eric. Using her at the end of a drunken, stupid evening as though she was an animal. You helped too, but you didn't start it. Mr. Burling was the one who started it. All she wanted was 25 shillings a week instead of 22 and sixpence. You made her pay a heavy price for that. You'll pay a heavier price still.
Inspector, I'll give you thousands.
I'm afraid it's too late.
Thousands!
You're offering the money at the wrong time. That young man Croft, though he showed her some affection, made her happy for a while, remember what you did. No, you won't forget. She's gone now and there's nothing anybody can do about it. You can't even say, "I'm sorry, Eva Smith." But just remember this. One Eva Smith has gone. There are millions and millions of Eva Smiths and John Smiths still with us, each with their lives, their hopes and fears, their chances of happiness and suffering, all intertwined with our lives, with what we say, what we think, and what we do. We do not live alone. We are responsible for each other. And I will tell you that the day will soon come where, if man has not learnt that lesson, then he will be taught it in blood, in fire, and in anguish. Good night.
There's bound to be a public scandal. I'm going to lose my chance at a knighthood.
For God's sake. What does it matter whether you lose your knighthood or not?
Matter? Matter? Does anything matter to you? You're going to have to repay every single penny you stole from the company. Every single penny.
You think I wasn't going to? I may have taken that money without permission, but at least I gave it to someone who was in need of it. Besides, it wasn't just me who put you in that mess, now was it?
Well, this is all bound to come out. There'll be a public scandal. But you don't seem to care. And there'll be no more of this going round town and picking up women and hanging out at the palace bar.
I should think not, Eric. I'm absolutely ashamed of you.
Oh, what a surprise. I suppose you've already forgotten what you've done to her now, haven't you?
Don't start that. What your mother and I did was totally acceptable. Unfortunate, but that's all.
That's all?
Well, what do you have to say?
Oh, there's quite a lot I've got to say.
Well, don't. Nobody wants to hear you.
I behaved badly too. I know I did. But you're just pretending all over again like nothing much has happened.
Nothing much has happened? Haven't I already said there'll be a public scandal?
But I'm not talking about that. I don't care about that. The point is, you don't seem to have learned anything.
I've learned quite enough from tonight.
Oh, I'm sure you have. Do you remember how you'd always tell us that every man has to look after themselves and that we should mind our own business? And how we shouldn't listen to these cranks who would tell us that everybody has to look after everybody else? And then one of these cranks walked in after dinner. I don't remember you telling him it was every man for himself.
Is that when the inspector came just after dinner?
Yes, what of it?
It's queer. Very queer.
Sheila, what exactly do you mean?
Well, I mean, I was just thinking, was he really a police inspector?
Well, if he wasn't, it makes all the difference.
No, it doesn't.
Don't talk rubbish. Of course it does.
Well, it doesn't matter to me, and it oughtn't to you either.
Don't you see? It doesn't matter who it was who made us confess. We all confessed to something that led to a girl's death. That's what's important, not whether a man is a police inspector or not.
He inspected us all right.
Oh, exactly. That's what I mean, Eric. But there was something curious about him. He didn't seem like an ordinary police inspector.
You're right. I noticed it too.
Well, I must say, his manner really was quite extraordinary for a police inspector. So rude and assertive.
Yes, they don't talk like that. And I've had dealings with dozens of them.
All right. Doesn't make any real difference, you know.
Of course it does.
No, she's right. It doesn't.
That is comic coming from you. You're the only one it makes a difference to. You're the only one that's done something criminal. He can ruin you, you know.
I don't care. Not after knowing what happened to her.
Did you notice how he hardly ever said anything that he didn't already know?
That's nothing. The fact that remains is if we hadn't said so much, he'd have nothing to go on. Why you all had to let it come out like that beats me.
You confessed too, Father.
Well, he certainly didn't make me confess. I made it quite plain that I felt I had done no more than my duty.
Oh, Mother!
Now who's this?
Edna will go.
Might be Gerald coming back.
He'd be brave to do so.
It's Mr. Croft.
I hope you don't mind my coming back.
No, of course not, my boy.
When did the inspector go?
Only a few minutes ago. He put us all through it.
Sheila.
Gerald might as well know.
Where did you get off to, Gerald?
I actually went to see a police sergeant that I know down the road. I told him about this Inspector Gould and gave a description of the chap, but he could have sworn that there's no Inspector Gould or anybody like him on the force here.
You didn't tell him...
Oh, no. I passed it off as someone having an argument with me, but the point is that this police sergeant was dead certain that there wasn't anybody like the inspector here.
By jingo, a fake.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I say I couldn't imagine a real police inspector talking to us like that?
Well, you were right. There was no such inspector. We've been had.
I'm going to make certain of this.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to call the Chief Constable, Colonel Roberts.
Be careful what you say, dear.
Of course. Get me Brumley 8752, please. Colonel Roberts, it's Arthur Burling calling. Ah, Roberts, Burling here. I'm very sorry to disturb your evening. I wonder if you can tell me, have you got an Inspector Gould on the force? Gould. G-O-O-L-E. Tall fellow, clean-shaven. Oh, well that settles it. No, just a little argument that we're having here. Thank you very much. Good evening. There is no Inspector Gould. That definitely wasn't an inspector. Gerald was completely correct. We've been had.
I knew he wasn't a real inspector. didn't look the part at all.
This makes all the difference. Well done, Gerald.
Well, I had my doubts before I left, but I had to make sure.
So I suppose we're all nice people now.
If you haven't anything sensible to say, Sheila, I suggest you keep quiet.
She's right, though.
And you need to keep quiet. If that had been a real inspector and you'd confessed...
Arthur, careful.
Yes, Sybil, I know. But we're feeling so pleased with ourselves, and it had gone so well, it just took me by surprise.
You alright?
I just can't believe it. None of this adds up.
It doesn't make any sense to me either.
I need some air.
Eric, where are you off to?
I just need to clear my head of this business.
Don't pretend you're out of the woods just because he wasn't a real inspector. Remember, you still stole from the firm.
And I told you I was going to pay you back. I just need some time by myself right now.
If you're still feeling on edge, then the least you can do is keep quiet. It's our turn now.
Our turn to do what?
To behave sensibly, Sheila, which is more than you're doing.
Oh, what's the use of talking about behaving sensibly? You're all beginning to behave like nothing's really happened. And I can't see it like that. For all I know, this girl's still dead. And nobody's brought her back to life, have they? Whoever that chap was, the fact is that I still did what I did. Mother still did what she did. And the rest of you still did what you did as well. It's still the same rotten story whether we told it to a police inspector or not. And I ought to feel better about that. I took some money, Gerald. You might as well know. Don't you dare! I don't care! The money's not the important thing. It's what we did to the girl that matters. I still feel the same about it! So excuse me if I don't feel like sitting around to have a nice, cozy talk.
Eric's absolutely right. And it's the best thing any one of us has said tonight. It makes me feel a little less ashamed of us. You're just beginning to pretend all over again.
Look, for God's sake. I'm sorry, my dear, but these two need to understand the difference between something coming out in private and there being a damn right public scandal.
Oh, public scandal. A girl has died tonight, and what we did that matters.
And I say, stop shouting or get out. Some fathers wouldn't tolerate this behaviour.
Good thing you're not like other fathers, then, isn't it?
Eric, please! This won't make anything better, will it? Please just come and sit down.
Do we know for certain if a girl's actually died?
Well, we've already found out he wasn't a real inspector.
Well, he was our inspector, all right. Let's not start dodging and pretending now. Between us, we drove a girl to commit suicide.
Did we? Who says so? Because I say there is no real evidence that we did, then that chap was a real police inspector.
Of course there is.
Well, think about it. Man comes to the house, pretends he's a police officer. It's a hoax of some kind. What does he do? He artfully plays on the little bits of information that he has on us and bluffs his way to get us to confess that we'd all had some sort of involvement with this girl, one way or another.
So we have.
We all confessed that we had an involvement with a girl, but who's to say that it was the same girl?
Gerald, what are you getting at?
The photographs. Do we know that it was the same photograph? Did you see the photo he showed your father?
No, I didn't.
Did your father see the photograph he showed you?
No, he didn't. I see what you mean now.
There's no proof it was the same photo, and therefore no proof that it was the same girl. He caught me out by suddenly announcing that she'd changed her name to Daisy Renton, which of course gave me away immediately because I had known a Daisy Renton.
But Daisy Renton isn't necessarily Eva Smith. We only have his word for that.
Thinking about it now, all the evidence he had against us to do with this girl, it did fit rather loosely together.
Exactly. He never showed the photograph to more than one person at any time. For all we know, he could have shown each of us a different picture.
It makes no difference to me. My girl's dead.
What is she? Do we know that there's actually a dead girl? We can settle this at once.
How?
By calling the infirmary. Either there's a dead girl there or there isn't.
Won't that seem a little queer at this time of night?
Well, I don't mind doing it. Hello, could you pass me through to Brumley Infirmary, please? Good evening, this is Mr. Gerald Croft of Crofts Limited. Yes, we've got a bit of concern about one of our employees. Could you tell me, has a girl been submitted this afternoon? Committed suicide by drinking a large amount of disinfectant? Or anything like suicide? Yes, I'll wait. Yes? And you're quite sure about that? Right. Well, thank you very much. Yes, good night. No girl has been submitted to the infirmary. No one's died by drinking disinfectant. They haven't had suicide there for months.
There you are, proof positive. Would you like a drink?
I think I could go for one right about now.
So could I.
Oh, Gerald, you really have argued this very cleverly, and we're most grateful.
Well, once I got out of the house and cleared my head, I was able to think it through a little better.
Yes, he didn't keep you on the run like he did the rest of us. I have to say, he had me scared for a time, but then I have special reason for not wanting to get a scandal right now.
Sheila, come along. Don't look like that. It's all over now.
I just can't help but remember what we all said that we had done. It might not have ended badly, but it very well could have done.
But the whole thing's different now. Surely you can see that, can't you?
Going to bed, young lady.
I want out of this. It frightens me the way you all talk.
I agree. It is frightening.
Well, why don't you just go off to bed instead of staying here being hysterical?
They're overtired. In the morning, they'll be as amused as we are.
Yes, come on, Sheila. It's all right now. And what about this?
No. It's too soon. I need time to think.
Now look at them. The famous younger generation. They know it all, and they can't even take a joke. Yes, Mr. Burling speaking. What? Now? That was the police. A girl has just died on her way to the infirmary after drinking disinfectant. An inspector's on his way here now to question us.